So if you want to convert people with paid ads, you need to know a few things. Every ad needs to do a few important things in order to really get people to convert. And they're honestly things that most people get completely wrong. First thing you need to do is educate people. If you're a new business, your ads need to educate the viewer on something. All right. Entertainment is not enough, especially for a new business, because if you're a new company, your goal should be proving your market value. Your goal needs to be proving that your product or whatever it is valuable, is helpful in some sort of way. And if you're entering a market that is already saturated, that already has someone who's providing a similar benefit, then by all means you need to do this even more. All right. If you're, for example, a cleaning product, right? We have many of them already. We have, tons of the big brands from P&G, many others. We've had cleaning products for as long as we can remember. We grew up with them, right? So everyone knows something to buy for cleaning. If you're starting a cleaning product business, by all means, you need to inform people about something new or something useful regarding your product. You can't just say, this will clean stuff, right? You need to introduce some type of unique or new or even interesting mechanism that helps your cleaning product clean in a more beneficial way that would make somebody want to use your product. Either it's more sustainable than some competitors, or it's more powerful, requires less time, um, stuff like that, right? And explain the mechanism that makes that possible. Because let's face it, if you're starting running ads right now in 2022, its chances are very slim that you're running ads to a brand new market that no one knows about. So chances are you have a competitor or two, which is fine. Your goal is not really to get rid of them. Your goal is to just essentially either create a new category, which I'll talk about a little bit later, or you know join the crowd in a unique way. So you have either reason to use your product as opposed to somebody else's, right? You're not saying your competitors are all garbage and I have a better product. You're essentially saying my product is the best for X or Y reason. So all of people who want this thing, this is your place to come. All right. People as of now are not very interested in um, claims that it's the best because we hear that every day, and we're not really that willing to believe it. What we are willing to believe is someone that claims their product or service is very useful in a specific use case. It's much more useful, and your ads should educate people on things about your product that can prove that. So on that example, in the cleaning product again, right? If you're a cleaning product, if you're running an ad on that, you can talk about the ingredients and give a little bit of background on the ingredients, and then go from that to why it makes your product so good or good in a specific situation, etc. If you look at swipe files from older ads from the 60s, 70s, all the ads from the greats like Ogilvy, Saatchi, and Saatchi, Bernbach, they were always either informative in some way or wrapped you up in a story. All right. For example, the Bernbach ads about companies like the Volkswagen Beetle or Avis, right? They were informative, either telling you about um, for example, Ava's telling you that they were not number one in car rentals, and they proceeded to kind of give you a bit of a story about how that's going to be beneficial for you, how their being number two is actually to your benefit, right? And they go really in depth in informing you how that number two spot comes up and guides their behavior and guides their service, right? Because they knew what their customers wanted. Customers wanted good service. They didn't necessarily want the number one company. They wanted great service, and that ad served Avis for many decades. Um, Volkswagen also quite good, informative as well. Right, the headlines were interesting. They weren't super informative, but the body copy of those ads were informative. In a future video, I'll probably go over this and talk about it in depth. But I'm just going through a few aspects right now of how this goes. So informative or story driven, you want to make sure that it educates the user on something. Secondly, your ads got to inspire people. What this really means is your ads, you want your ads to inspire people and basically let them take some action on something. You're not just saying, "Hey, this is a product," or "This is my product. It's good for this." You're if your ad doesn't inspire people to take action, they won't take any action. This is the most important piece of the puzzle because without action, you only have awareness, and awareness is what billboards are for, right? In most cases, and the only difference between billboards and TV ads in many cases is action. Being able to give people an easy way to take action right now. There's no easy way to tell someone get up out of your couch and come to our store in person. There's no easy way to make someone do that. But there's an easy way to make someone tap on a link. Not make them, but encourage them to tap on a link and get a product. That's much easier than walking or driving to a physical location. So if you don't nail this, the ad is very weak. So moving on here, if you're spending money on ads for a direct response goal, you're gonna need more than just awareness, right? Otherwise, people will be aware of you when you're out of business. An ad inspires people by showing people a way to do something that they already want to do. So what this means is the way your ad inspires someone is by showing them a way to do something that they already want to do. With Avis, back to our previous example, right? With Avis, people wanted to get great service, right? The ad inspired viewers to use Avis essentially because it showed them another way to get great service, which is by using the second place company. Because, for example, they work harder. They've been using that "we work harder" tagline for ages, and it's been so effective mainly because it does a great job at letting people know how their position helps the customer, how to benefit. All right. So it showed them a way to get great service, which is by simply using the company that just works harder due to their second place spot. For e-commerce now, you want to ask yourself, what things do your buyers already want? Right? What do they want? What are they doing to get those things? Right? What are they doing that they don't know they're doing? And what are they not doing that they should be doing and are unaware of? For example, if you're selling a topical cream or let's say like a beauty product, what do your buyers want? They want, clean, smooth, clear skin that glows, essentially, right? That's what they want. What are they doing for that? They're using topical products. They're using skin products. They're using, um, you know, they're probably using serums, things to just clear their skin up and help their skin look its best, right? They're using skincare products. So that's one example. So they're using those to get what they already want. If we're going to educate them, right? If you haven't noticed, educating them is actually it kind of echoes in the inspiration side because you're showing people a new way to do something that they already want to do, which is essentially educating them, right? In a different fashion. So they're using skincare products. They want great skin, and essentially, your job here is to show them a way to get that great skin that they might not have known about before, right? So what you can do is you can talk about maybe, let's say, an ingredient that is in most topical skincare products that you know isn't often talked about, right? Um, and then talk about how that is important. Talk about what you put in your product. Talk about how your product, fixes comes to the mix. Right. Talk about how your product comes to the mix. Talk about how the ingredients are important. All that different stuff. Not all of this in every ad, by the way. You want do one or two of these per ad, but yeah, talk about the ingredients. Talk about an attribute of what they're doing right now. Educate them on something better or something different, and then essentially you'll have an inspiration at that point. Obviously, you still have to add a call to action and tell them what to do. Use a code, purchase now, whatever it is, right? But you want to educate the person and you inspire them by educating them further on a new way to do what they already want or get what they already want. The third attribute here is relating. Your ad needs to create trust. It's really important that your ad creates trust. If you people buy from you because they think you can solve their problem, and to solve it, you have to know what the problem is. If people don't think you know what the problem is, they will not trust you. Because when they begin to trust you, what happens is they think, okay, I trust this person, and they probably understand what I'm going through, and they probably know how to fix it, or have taken the effort, or have made the product to fix this. All right. So you want to illustrate problems that your buyers have, illustrate solutions that your buyers already want, or show people that are similar to your buyers. So if you're selling, let's say, a skincare supplement that evens out dark skin, and you put a dark skinned person in the ad, chances are it'll do well because the people can see that it's someone who likely has tackled with their problem before, right? And that's a point of trust right there. The reason why this is important, why you want to relate and or be relatable, talk about relatable things, right? For example, if you're talking about a dress shirt and you're making dress shirts that are stain resistant, you can make your ad around the fact that you know everyone spilled a drink on their shirt at some point in their life, right? Or something similar to that. Relatable issues, those create trust because when people see that you've gone through what I've gone through, or you know what I've gone through and you understand it, chances that you've made a product that can actually solve my problem are much higher. So that is the reason why you really want to make sure that your ads are relatable at least a little bit of the time. All right. Let's say out of every 5 ads you make, you want to have at least 3 or 4 that are relatable because without this important ingredient here, people are just going to think that you're just trying to sell them something as opposed to selling something that's good for them. All right. So people will not trust your product and they will not trust your intentions unless they can relate to what you're putting in front of their face. As a bonus here, attention is important as well, but it's not the most important part of the you know the formula here. AIDA, AIDA, it's a framework that people use a lot. Attention, interest, desire, action. People, you hear it a lot in the marketing world. If you're a marketer or if you're a founder, you probably heard it too. Um, it's an important acronym. I actually use it as well. My team and I use this a lot, but we don't use it all day. We don't use it all the time because we use it a little bit differently from how most people use them. Um, I'll go into that later. But the point here is attention is important, but it's not the utmost importance. Yes, your ads are not going to get viewed if your hook is not good, but attention, it, a lot of the time, the ads with the best thumb stop metrics, which just means the ads that get people to stop in the feed and look at them are often not the ads getting sales. They're often not the ads that people click through on or care about or even give a second look because they're not valuable. They're just not valuable. So do not go for attention at all costs. You want your you want your ad to get seen. All right? But your hook is only really important after your ad content is helpful and valuable to the viewer. Otherwise, it's clickbait. Just like a YouTube video that has a misleading title and thumbnail, an ad with a weird first frame or first 3 seconds that seems interesting and then quickly becomes uninteresting is just as misleading. So do not do that. Uh, I would even recommend you make your ad first and then bring some of your hook afterwards. So you know you have helpful content and you make your hook at the end of that fact. All right. That way your hook can better relate to your ad and people have more value to get out of it. So this is the formula that my team and I we use at the Coronation Group. We've helped clients make multi 7 figures with this on a regular basis. And it's pretty plain and simple, and it's a really easy framework to think about when you're making ads. To have an ad strategy that repeatedly brings in multi to 7 figures for almost any business out there, because without these formulas, your ads are going to eventually fall into a few buckets of, unhelpful but attractive, unattractive but helpful, or just noise. And these four are one, a very simple way to make ads, and two, a useful way to address users on the other end of that spectrum, because it's a two-way street when it comes to paid social and paid search ads. So either way, do your viewers a favor, do your customers a favor, and make ads that are more informative, more useful, and can get results for you. Your pockets will thank you, and your business will thank you. So there we go. If you want to talk about this more in depth, if you have any questions, any concerns, if you have any thoughts, really, feel free to leave a comment, drop a like. See you soon.